The broadcast is live.
All right, looks like
Actually,
we're live. Let me go to the Facebook and accept the comment section, and we'll get this ball rolling. Anybody on Facebook, feel free to leave a comment just so I could see if it's already posting them on my on the feed here on StreamYard. Okay, here we go.
Click on that and share it.
Yeah, now I just have to accept the comment section, and we'll get this ball rolling. Okay, I'm on here, but where do I Anybody on Facebook, feel free to leave a comment just so I can see if it's already posting them on my on the feed here on StreamYard. Okay, and there we go. Done. So you can leave a comment on your Facebook. Yeah, no, yes.
Hold on, let me.
Accept the comment. Yeah, just put a comment on Facebook so I can see if it shows it here on StreamYard, and we could get started.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Did you leave any comment there? See if it came out. If anybody's on Facebook watching,
let me try that again because when I did it, it wouldn't let me share it. And let me.
Yeah,
just. Or am I leaving a comment? Here's Facebook.
Yeah, just put a comment. Just put any comment. I want to see if it comes out on the screen here.
Where did it go? JY.
Yeah, just put hi or whatever, and I want to see if it comes out on the screen.
I gotta find it. Where is it? Let me click on you.
Yeah, click on home page. Yeah, but I already found it. It came out right here. I put public already, so it should be on there. We should be good to go.
There we go. I'm gonna type hello.
All right, yeah, because the YouTube comments come out immediately, but the face, yeah, there it is. All right, perfect. We're up and running then, guys. All right, everything looks good. We're about to get everything started. Today we're gonna be reviewing a book called Ice Cream Man. It's a horror anthology type book. What's the publishing company on this?
Image.
Okay, it's an Image book. That is my guest right here, Jared Osborne.
Hello there. It's by written by W. Maxwell Prince, art by Martine Morazzo, colors by Chris O'Halloran, lettering by Good Old Neon. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of any of the people who do this.
Me either. They're all completely
new. I'm an indie guy, so.
Yeah, they're all new names to me too, man.
Yeah.
Not familiar with any of them right there. Let me turn this program off right here on my computer. Okay, so one thing I noticed immediately here, the art was, there's stuff I liked about the art and stuff I didn't like. It looked very rough.
First of all, it's for the first 4 issues of Ice Cream Man too, just to let them know. That's for the trade.
Yeah, it's volume. Yeah, it's volume 1. It's called, let me see the name of it. It's volume 1. It's called the Rainbow
Sprinkles, right?
Rainbow Sprinkles. Yeah, it covers the first 4 issues. Now, this isn't really like it's not like one long ongoing story. It's like a lot of little each it's like one shots, right? Like each issue is a separate story.
At least so far.
What happened? Yeah, so far, huh?
At least so far it is, because the last issue gave us a hint of a bigger story.
Okay. Yeah. Who was that guy on the last issue? Was that Ice Cream Man or was that somebody else? Yeah,
that was somebody. Maybe we should start at the beginning.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna ask you. I was like, what happened with that guy? But yeah, we'll start.
There's 4 issues. One.
Let me click on the screen so
4 separate stories.
Yeah.
4 issues, 4 separate stories tied together by the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, and he's kind of like I guess sort of a narrator in a weird way.
Yeah, that was weird. I couldn't figure out because there was a narrator to the story.
Yeah,
but I didn't know if it was the Ice Cream Man or somebody else or somebody we just haven't seen. That was what was strange. So there he is. There's the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, did you know what it gave me a Tales from the Crypt type of vibe?
Oh, it's got a real creepy vibe to it. I enjoyed the book in general.
Yeah, even look at the Ice Cream Man's face right here. You know what I really like was the colors really gave it this weird, eerie feel to it.
It did.
Yeah, look at even ice cream on the face right here. Very weird.
When you were talking about when you say the face is weird, you know, is one thing I noticed about this art that is strange and that is different than comic book art we usually see. He always draws teeth in the characters.
Yeah.
If you look at the characters' faces, you almost always see teeth there. You'll maybe a hint of the two front teeth, maybe a hint of the bottom teeth. And that's most of the time, the two front teeth on that kid. The ice cream man's always got teeth. And usually, when you're drawing cartoons, you don't draw teeth. That's because they're too small a detail. They kind of look creepy a lot. But it worked here because everybody looks creepy.
Yeah, it made people look weird.
Yeah, because he always drew there's more teeth in these 4 issues than I've seen in any 4 comics ever.
Yeah, here's a panel. I like the way it has a very this first issue has a very like small town feel, which it almost seems like every time something weird goes down, it's in a small town nobody's heard of.
Right. And this, like the first issue, is about this kid right here in a killer spider.
Yeah, the tarantula that seems to be like his pet. It doesn't seem to act aggressive towards him.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, the story's real weird. And you think the ice cream man has something to do with the spider, but you're not sure. That's what's weird about this book, too.
Oh,
it's
man.
like he's going into his house, which is a wreck.
Yeah,
and you find out later on that the house is a wreck because there's the spider. The spider killed his parents, and they're in the kitchen rotting. But the spider's
when I changed to this next panel, and you saw this, I was like, "Holy shit! What just happened here?"
creepy panel.
Yeah, you know that them corpses had been there for a minute. Like they were there for a while, which kind of explains, why such a mess. Because there was some little 8-year-old kid maintaining the house the last few weeks or so.
Then we cut to the police, and there's a lot of death in this book too. It's really a horror book where people die. It's not like there's just like, you know, random deaths happen, like his parents or just people who are in the story. Anyone can die at any time because there's no continuing characters, at least so far.
Yeah, well, I think the 2 detectives were on the second issue as well.
But one of the detectives died in the first issue.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Spider hit him.
Yeah, and this is a very real feel here where the narrator was saying, you know, this woman is a detective and she's like it's not a dead end job, but it's you're like at a job where you gotta wake up, go to work, and this happens a lot where you just have a job you don't really like, but you gotta pay the bills.
Right. The job doesn't challenge her.
Yeah, where she's just like, well, the job seems mundane, but you know, bills gotta be paid. And it's because she's a cop in a small town where things don't really happen.
Right. It's different than your normal cop story that takes place in a big city.
Yeah, where there's constant crime and you just, Here is like, it's just a small town. It's a slow job. Nothing really goes down. And then, then it goes from, the story goes from being kind of slow, like everybody's bored in a small town to too many things happening at once where you're like, oh shit, like, how can I keep up with everything?
This drawing right here of like that Wolfman thing was just like a sub story in this first story where some woman at the police office giving a police sketch of this monster she saw in the woods.
Yeah, and it shows her cat here that it ate her cat. And
yeah,
she's the corpse right here, and this is a way to introduce the cops, the two detectives.
Yeah, that's how they introduce the detectives.
Yeah, so you think she'd be a little more excited, like, hey, now we got something interesting going on, an interesting case. But it kind of seems like they don't fully believe her story because she's old.
They don't believe her story at all because she's telling them there's a monster in the woods. An old lady telling a monster in the woods. They don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, it's too far-fetched.
And the one thing about the art, you were talking about the art and how you kind of liked it and kind of didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agree with that. One of the problems I had with the art, and it's not really, it's just kind of he's using that no line weight style that oh god, all of a sudden his name flew out of my head. That artist popularized who used to draw the X-Men and
Hey, what's up, Jesus? Just saw your message, your comment right here.
how you doing? Oh, what's it? Oh, geez, all of a sudden I forgot his name flew right out of my head. The guy he's the head guy who draws that no line weight and everybody's kind of lumpy.
X-Men?
He drew the Grant Morrison X-Men stuff.
Oh, Frank Quietly?
Frank Quitely. Kind of using that style, except it's not as good as Frank Quitely. So every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I wish this was Frank Quitely.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Frank Quietly, but he's okay. But I get what you mean. The way he kind of draws the faces and stuff.
Yeah, he draws with like a single line weight. There's not thicks and thins a lot to his line, and that's kind of what Frank Quitely popularized. And a lot of guys have kind of copied that over the years since Quitely popularized it. And this looks like one of those guys.
Okay.
I also noticed another thing about the artwork in this. He's got a lot of perspective in it. There's a lot of rooms where he's got the ceiling grid drawn. So there's a lot of like straight on perspective and perspective. He did a lot of perspective.
Top angle from I get what you mean. Yeah, I thought the way he told the story and the way it's like if he's a cameraman, the way he's pointing the angles and all that, I thought all that was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was
the style itself was kind of I was kind of iffy on the style itself, but what he's doing, he knows what he's doing. Like he's moving the story along and everything real good.
I generally liked the art, but I didn't think it wasn't like my favorite art.
Yeah, because I also felt like a lot of the faces looked kind of similar.
Yeah. I think that's that no line weight style. Sometimes it's tough to differentiate because he's drawing normal people too. He's not drawing superheroes with costumes to let you know who they are.
Yeah. So, when each character has different haircut or color.
Everybody has extreme haircuts and extreme costumes. So it's easy to differentiate Spider-Man from Iron Man. But when you got a cop in a collared shirt and a tie with a normal, every guy has the same haircut just about.
Yeah, I always used to say that about Jim Lee's Beast and Wolverine. It's like they look exactly the same, but you know who Beast is because he's blue. But the face is exactly the same.
And the first story I thought was wrapped up pretty, like I said, that each story, the first story was the kid and the spider story. That was pretty cool. Well, which was the second story? Was that the junkie story? Let me see.
Hold up, we a little bit more about this kid story because you saw what happened with the ice cream man here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw how who was the person eating the cat? Who was that werewolf?
Yeah, he should. That werewolf that the lady described shows up for like a page. He wasn't even part of the story. He was just some.
Yeah, but it was like here. It's the ice cream man.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He was like beat up by the werewolf or something. We don't know what happened. So far, we have after 4 issues, we have no idea who or what the ice cream man is.
I thought the ice cream man was the werewolf.
Yeah, you thought the ice cream man was the. I thought he was fighting the werewolf. You don't know.
Because I thought he just transformed back to human here on this page.
Oh, that's right. He's got the ice cream man was a werewolf. You're right.
Yeah, that's when I messaged you. I was like, "Holy shit!" I go, "Are you seeing what's happening in the book?"
I thought the ice cream man was fighting the werewolf. That's why he got. I didn't notice. But once again, that's why when he's got mundane clothes on, I didn't notice he had the same clothes as the werewolf. The same torn shorts and collar. Yeah. So the ice cream man is the werewolf. Ah, look at that.
Yeah, he's telling them right here, "Oh, watch out, the woods are not safe."
Never showed up as the werewolf in the other 3 issues. That's weird. Like that just makes the book weirder.
Yeah, you're right. He was never the
Yeah,
werewolf ever again. Oh, here's where
because
the spider bit the detective.
and
Yeah,
like at the end of the issue, it's like the ice cream man just kind of picks up the spider and goes away.
look at the same belt and everything right here.
Hmm.
This
Yeah, they're
page,
in
I
the
was
same,
like, holy
same
shit! I
outfit.
was like,
He's definitely the ice cream man. But then on like the second to last page, the ice cream man's in his outfit again.
yeah, yeah, and then he got bit by
Not
the
too
spider.
much.
Too. He didn't die. But look at
But look
here.
up, there's those kids' teeth. Everybody's got teeth.
Yeah, the
I'm
werewolf.
telling you, that's what makes it look so weird. Is those teeth? Look at any other comic. No one draws teeth.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Though that really differentiates.
Look at her teeth right there. The cop.
Everyone is suffering, and yeah, it never shows the. See, look at here. No, it never shows the ice cream man again. Oh yeah, he does. He's right here. Look at the
Yeah,
ice
he
cream.
does. He picks up the spider.
Yeah, and look at his teeth.
Show the ice cream man with scary teeth. So he was a werewolf. Now he's got scary teeth, and the spider. It's like you just don't know with this ice cream. Like at this point, I'm not sure if the ice cream man is the narrator. I'm not sure what's going on with if he's just the catalyst for these stories.
Yeah, that's
Sort of-
kind of that's a good word to put it. I was looking for that word. That's kind of how I felt like he was like in Tales from the Crypt. Like he was the crypt. He would be the crypt keeper.
Yeah, he'd be like Rod Serling in the Twilight Zone. Is he that guy?
Yeah, that's it.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, they did a really good job of that's. Yeah, that's kind of how it is, like the Twilight Zone, Crypt, Tales from the Crypt, and all that. And
Right,
it
that-
feels like he's that guy. Yeah, like the ice cream man is that guy that's kind of in the stories, but not really. Like they're not really about him, but he's in them.
I think he was in even less of this second issue.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, he was rarely in it.
The second issue is about this junkie, this woman, and you just feel bad for her because it makes you feel bad for her because she's, her and her boyfriend are both junkies, and they used to be normal people, and now they're just wrecked.
Yeah,
And like the climax of the book, and they're just they're just trying to get by, and they're stealing stuff, and they're junkies. They have a horrible life.
yeah, they have.
And
I like what they did here with the black and white.
Yeah, it's well told because you felt sorry for them. You're
Yeah,
like,
this is back when they were a happy couple.
right. It was like they were just gonna try.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they're drug addicts, but I don't know. They're garbage. Like, I didn't feel sorry for them. I was like, what the hell? I was like, we need to get these people off the streets.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel sorry for them when they were doing bad things, but I felt sorry for them that they were miserable, and they were going to come.
Yeah, that shows how drugs can destroy your life.
Yeah,
yeah, man, and here's like the ice cream man played the devil kind of, where he just told her to kind of just take yourself out of your own misery.
Yeah, he ends up like whispering in her ear something or something, and then it was like she ends up stealing the ice cream truck, and things just get worse from there.
Oh yeah, when they take the truck, but he gives her like this big bag of drugs because he goes, "Oh, what you're looking for is drugs." He goes, "Here you go." He just gave her like so much drugs that she was just gonna overdose.
Right.
And he tells them, "You could keep them for yourself or for your boyfriend." And she's dead. When the cops find her, she's dead. They say it's been an overdose. It was just a shit. Like the story was good, but it was just a shit story, like a shit life they led.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. You were not envious of anyone in this story.
Yeah, this I felt this story would have been really good as an episode on a TV episode of some type of show.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Especially when like I said, she ends up dying in the ice cream truck or something. I can't even.
Well, she ends up overdosing. She gets home and he gives her drugs.
That's right.
The ice cream man tells her, "You took my truck." Tells her, "Go ahead and here's some drugs." He goes, "That's what you wanted." He gives her basically a loaded gun so she could kill herself.
Right.
That was so like a symbolic thing going on there. Where he goes, "Here, just take this." Like it's like like in my head when I saw that panel, I was like, he's basically handing her a gun, like just just
Right.
kill yourself
But she,
already.
but she didn't think she was going to kill herself. She
Yeah,
just
yeah,
thought,
she didn't think that, but he knew that. He knew what he was doing.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
This second story was really dark.
yeah. This and then what made this story very crazy is that this was like very realistic story.
Hmm.
Like this was very grounded. Like what like people there's people out there that they take that wrong turn in life and they end up living these types of lives.
Right. And they also, I forgot about this part of the story as I'm looking at it. There's this there's this couple live too, the black man and the white woman,
Yeah, they're
and
an old couple arguing.
yeah, and they give us a little piece of their lives over 3 or 4 pages, and
Yeah, and
and
also,
they introduce us to this. They introduce us to this couple and let us get to know them, just so we feel something when she accidentally kills them with the ice cream truck.
yeah, when she crashes with him. Yeah, and
That made it even darker.
yeah, because you really and that tells you that's good writing right there too, because in just one page he gave these characters a voice, like a personality.
He actually gave, let's say, he actually gave him a few pages, which is more than you'd usually do. One, two, he gave him 3 pages to that couple,
Okay.
just for so we can get to know them and their life and their problems.
Yeah, and it really felt like a bickering old couple too.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're just zoned it. Like, yeah, I think he let it drag on a few pages, so you kind of forget about what the girl's doing. Then she just appears out of
Right.
nowhere, bam. So
Yeah, it
kind
was
of like
well.
to side to so you could lose focus on her. So it makes it more of an impact when she pops out of nowhere.
Right. A nice job with that.
Yeah, that was really well done. Yeah, but this
I'm looking at all the teeth.
like this was an episode of like Tales from the Crypt or something. I go, this would have been like this issue 2 was made to be like a TV, like
Yeah.
something like a TV show. Look at
This
that.
was a learn a lesson
Yeah,
sort of like the first one, there was no lesson in. This one was kind of learn a lesson one. I think the third issue there was no the third issue there was no lesson. The third issue was confusing.
the third issue was crazy. Yeah, the third issue was off the wall. Yeah, that third issue was off the wall for sure.
Oh, that's right. They ended that junkie issue with them showing us the boyfriend getting at least having a chance of getting clean.
Yeah, it's yeah, he went to a rehabilitation.
So to make her death even more tragic, her boyfriend survived, at least for a while.
Yeah, he showed the life of how you can overcome it. Like they hinted at that you have a chance to overcome these types of situations. Yeah, how they say no matter how deep a hole you dig yourself or how bad life gets, you don't give up on it.
For him to overcome it too. So this is just a dark issue.
yeah, that issue was crazy.
But like the ice cream man is only a catalyst in it. He doesn't really he's just there so she can steal the ice cream truck. He's just there so to kill her at the end. He's not like the prime mover of the plot.
Yeah.
And the second one is about a failed rock star.
Who did he remind you of?
He didn't remind me of anyone actually. But look at those teeth he's got as he's singing there. Like even in that, he's drawn teeth and they're gray.
You know who he reminded me of?
Oh,
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. I can see the look, but Buddy Holly wasn't a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, I know, but just his look, like the way he was the one that sang Great Balls of Fire, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why it reminded me of his movie, because he had a movie. He had a movie, I think, in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, with I forgot. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, with Chris Disney, I think.
This was weird in that because it was first they give us a lot of pages on this guy who's kind of a failed rock star who's lived with regret his whole life because
Yeah,
he had one hit and could never write another and could never, and all the money's gone. He's got nothing left. He's not one of these one-hit wonders who that set up the whole rest of his life. He's one of these one-hit wonders who now is just a normal guy and was never able to follow up and never able to do anything.
yeah. Oh, he's giving him ice cream.
And then
What
he meets the ice cream man and gets transported into this fantasy world.
Yeah, that was, and he was told that every song he's made, these are the characters from the music he sung.
And it's just all of a sudden it just gets so weird.
Yeah, once
all of a sudden,
like the sci-fi element, I lost track of what was happening.
It was just bizarre, and it was like he was transported into this sci-fi world where he was the hero, except he didn't know how to act like a hero. He wasn't an actual hero, but everybody in this world thought he was a hero because his songs did heroic things in this world.
Yeah, it was.
And
yeah, look, it had a very look at this.
He's fighting. There's monsters and heroes, and
it has a very heavy metal, like the cartoon heavy metal, where all these weird things are going on.
And the fantastical elements are amongst some of the best drawn stuff too.
Yeah. When we get to this part, the art gets good. It gets really good right here.
He's obviously good at this fantastical stuff.
Yeah,
and this guy, he has no idea what he's doing in this fantastical world. Everyone's explaining stuff to him. Everyone telling him he's a hero. They're giving him a guitar, saying he's got to play his song, and he's just like,
what? You saw the name of the guitar?
Yeah. Oh, it was Lucille, right? Was that it?
Hendrix. It was called Hendrix. Like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, all the people are named after famous songs.
Yeah.
Ruby Tuesday is the woman. Let's go to the panel where they name everyone. It's Eleanor Rigby, Ziggy, Rocky Raccoon, Major Tom, and Captain Jack are his team guys on his team.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And there's the Yellow Submarine from the Beatles. That's their spaceship.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. What is this? I didn't know this. A Yellow Submarine from the Beatles.
You know the Beatles song "We All Live in a Yellow Submarine"?
I'm not into Beatles too much.
Okay,
so that's what the Yellow Submarine was.
One of the most famous.
I didn't know, but I didn't catch on to that part.
It's Yellow Submarine. They made a movie of it too. I think that's the Yellow Submarine from the Beatles. So there's a whole music world where he's the hero.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you need to know. You definitely need to know. To catch some of these reference, you gotta know a lot about pop culture.
Right. Captain Jack is a Billy Joel song. Eleanor Rigby is a Beatles song. Ziggy is Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. All of a sudden his name just flew out of my head. David Bowie. Rocky Raccoon went up to only to find Gideon's body. Is that the Beatles or one of the solo Beatles? I can't remember. Major Tom is once again the guy Ziggy Stardust. Yeah, David Bowie is Major Ground Control to Major Tom. So they're all hit songs.
Yeah, they're all okay.
I
knew that part about that. I just didn't know about I didn't know every single song, but I knew like where it was getting at right there. I didn't know about that submarine thing though.
Yeah, but it's like it's crazy. It's just there's no explanation for this.
Yeah, it was
nutty
too, though. That when he popped out Jimi Hendrix guitar, I was like, oh yeah, the Hendrix Stratoblaster.
And like Eleanor Rigby has no face because it says Eleanor Rigby keeps her face in a jar by the door because that's one of the lyrics from the song. So Eleanor Rigby has no face. She carries it in a jar. There she is right there.
She looks gross.
Right, because the lyric of the song is she keeps her face in a jar by the door.
Yeah, this. I don't even know if this issue was supposed to have a point to it.
Yeah, but it was just so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if this issue was supposed to have like a point to it or.
And Ruby Tuesday is a Rolling Stones song.
for the lost lyrics. What? They're jamming out right here. Yeah, there's Ruby Tuesday.
And then the crazy thing is how the comic ends. It's like all of a sudden, who's it? Major Tom here takes his space helmet off, and it's the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, right here.
And he tells him play "Rocket to the Moon." So he plays the song. Then he wakes up back in the diner and is the same miserable self again.
Yeah, this one was crazy.
So it's like nobody died, nobody was miserable. The Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, I think it was just for him to live in. He just had a dream where in the dream he's like the hero.
Yeah, he just gave him a cool world to live in for a little while, and it's just kind of, huh?
Yeah, so he could get his spirits up, I guess.
Right, but his spirits weren't even up at the end. He learned no lesson.
Yeah, he was still feeling like shit.
Yeah, he was as miserable as at the beginning of the story. Then at the end, the yellow submarine is flying away. That story was like, there's actually, I mean, I like there's a lot to these stories. It's not like I understand them.
Yeah, that story was that's probably one of the craziest stories I've read in a while.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It's just like, sometimes I'd like not knowing exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that one. What I liked about that one was I really like the art on that issue. I really like the art. I think this artist works very good with that type of scenarios.
Right. It's harder to do the mundane stuff interesting, especially in that no line weight style.
Yeah, when he had that other stuff going on, that issue, the art really shined right there. It showed what this guy's capable of.
Right. Like if you think about like comics that are good at sort of mundane stuff, you think of like a sort of a detective like a noir, a dark
black and white
with shadows everywhere, and those guys are good at doing the mundane stuff. But when you do this no line weight, brightly colored style, it's tough when you're drawing, their house with shuttered doors. It's tough to make that interesting. I mean, he's trying his best by doing all the perspective stuff, like as well as he can, and really setting a stage for them. But it's not an easy thing. But this fourth story is also really weird. I didn't quite get.
Yeah,
the fourth story is about a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's bad that I don't quite get it. I mean, I actually am intrigued by it that I don't quite get it.
Mm-hmm. It keeps you when you finish the story, you sit around and you kind of let the story simmer when you're just like trying to soak it all in, like what just happened.
Because it's good. I mean, if it was bad and I didn't quite get it, that would be bad. But it's good. If you don't quite get it.
Yeah. It's not a weird story because the guy doesn't know what he's writing. Like clearly, he knows what he's doing. Like it was done that way on purpose.
Right. There's nothing is by accident. We know that both the art and the writing it's all very clear. It's all done on purpose. We just can't quite grasp the totality of everything just yet. Look at that guy's teeth in that panel too. There you go. More teeth. Yeah. There's teeth everywhere.
His face actually has a little bit of a different shape, his head.
Yeah.
So he's a little different from the other characters because a lot of them look similar. He looks different.
He's got those same glasses as that Buddy Holly guy though.
Yeah. And he was talking about he's gonna have a kid and he's complaining about his life.
Right.
He's saying about he wants to leave his wife. That he wishes he could be like this other guy that left his wife.
Well, the first thing is
like he wishes he could be like him, right?
Well, hold on. Let's start at the beginning. The first thing is he's going to a funeral of a friend of his who he hasn't seen in years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asked to give the eulogy at the funeral. So he was kind of like, I'm giving this eulogy, but I haven't seen these guys in years. But he goes and gives the eulogy. And this guy with the ponytail is guy who died's father.
Mm.
And the father is right there thanking him for giving such a good eulogy, but the father was a terrible father.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like I said, and then this guy starts talking to the terrible father about how he wants to run away from his family. It's all too much. And the terrible father ran away from his family.
Yeah, they're right here drinking.
These two talking, and it's all about this guy's funeral. And this guy's funeral brought these two together, and they're talking about their lives, and the terrible father saying, "Don't be a terrible father." And so it's kind of, you think there's a lesson to be learned here. You think, and you're wondering, how's the ice cream man going to fit into this? Because it's a pretty, it's a pretty simple story to begin. You're like, well, what's the ice cream man going to do here?
Yeah.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's all these two talking, giving advice, but and it's well done, well drawn. And then all of a sudden, what was it? And now a brief, unpleasant interlude. What page is this? On page 1, after they're finished talking, I'll wait till you skip ahead to it. Like I said, most of it is these guys talking.
I thought it was.
There we go. Now a brief, unpleasant interlude. And when you turn the page, all of a sudden you got this guy saying, "Where am I? Wait, am I in hell?" And he's being tortured by bugs and skeletons. And he's strapped to a table, and there's dogs.
Yeah, this felt so like a way. It didn't feel like part of the story.
No. And is that the ice cream man?
I thought this was the ice cream man again. When I saw him, I was like, "Is this the ice cream man again?"
And I was like, "What the heck's going on?" And all of a sudden, there's what 3, 4 pages he's being tortured. 5 pages, and then all of a sudden, the reveal is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I can hear you. I'm just waiting for you to get to the reveal. I think it's the guy. It's the dead guy. The dead guy is like, so these two are on Earth discussing what they're going to do with their life, and the dead guy is in hell being tortured.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, pages. At first, I was thinking it was the ice cream man, but yeah, it was the guy in the casket. So it's showing his afterlife, and it's showing.
Yeah, and you're like, holy cow! Where did this come? And meanwhile, these two dig up his body so the father can say goodbye. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so obviously that guy wasn't. He obviously wasn't such a good person while he was on Earth.
Right.
Yeah, this is I think
these
are good stories to read. These are good to read like one shots, like you read it every month. These are perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Trade, it doesn't really make it any better or worse, but I think these are definitely meant to be read in single issues, month to month.
But once we get to the end, now is where we get to a hint of maybe what the bigger overall story is, because all of a sudden this man in black shows up,
and
he basically said, and he scares the ice cream man. He's like, "I know what you're doing. I'm keeping my eye on you." And you're like, "Whoa, what's this?"
Yeah.
And he just walks away whistling, and that's how the trade ends, right? Many happy returns.
So who's this guy? Like the devil?
Who is he?
I'm thinking
we don't know who the
guy
is. Nice artwork too on these pages. That he did a good job with that man in black.
Yeah, you saw the art really get better as each issue went along.
Yeah, the 4th issue was very strong.
Yeah, all these are, I think these are real good like these anthology or one shots. Yeah. When you're reading a book and then you want to take a break and just read something else for a little while, because because at least at this point it's not like an ongoing story, so you could just read one, take a break from whatever else you're reading, recharge, and then go back to your other stuff.
I do that mostly anyway, even with like I always like switch up stuff that I'm reading, and I often like I'll read one issue of, like, even in a trade or a collecting, I'll read one, maybe 2 issues of something, put it down and pick, because I like that wait between issues.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's hard
I
to
like
read
that.
like 10 issues of the same series. It can be tough. Like you start feeling like, oh, like I gotta switch. I'm reading too much superheroes. I gotta read something different.
Right. I like. There's some stuff, I'll read all the way through, but rare and not stuff that long. But there's also what's good about this is it left me wanting more.
Yeah, it was good. It was yeah, and I think they have on Hoopla. I think they have the next 2 volumes.
There's three more trades.
Yeah, I saw 3.
I was like, I was like, I actually wanted to go and read the trades. I was like, no, I'm going to wait till I talk to Jay to review this. That way, I didn't want to know more than this trade when we talked about it. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah, especially if you.
But I'm going to go and read them.
Yeah, we could do future reviews on them or future chats.
Yeah.
If you like horror, you like anthology, you definitely are gonna enjoy this. It's solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I can't even, like I said, you're left with a lot of questions, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's a tricky the stories can be a little like they're not that straightforward. They can be interpreted in different ways.
There are also stories where I don't have to have all the questions answered. I'm okay with that because it entertains me.
They're meant to not have a clear ending.
Yeah.
Kind of like Twilight Zone used to do that a lot. They would end in a weird way where you're like, what the hell?
But it makes you feel something. That's what's good about it. It makes you feel something. Yeah. I actually might buy these someday. Like this was I would own and have on my shelf.
Okay. Have you seen on I think on what channel was it? They're doing a new Tales from the Crypt show.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It's called Creep. I think it's called Creep Show with Stephen King's son, Joe Hill.
Joe Hill. Okay.
Yeah, and when it starts, it shows a bunch of comic panels, and you go through the pages, and then you see that comic panel, then it becomes to life, and they start the scene there, where the scene is exactly like the panel, and they do that a few times through every episode. So I like that they include comic panels in every episode, so it's based on old Creepshow comic books.
Right. Creepshow was the movie that Stephen King did
in the 80s.
A bunch of book guys in the 80s, right?
I think it was 2 movies. I think there was a part 1 and 2, and they each had 3 stories in each movie. Each movie had 3 like 20-minute stories.
And they put out a graphic novel of the stories too. I remember Bernie.
I didn't know about that part, but I know there's like hardcovers, I think, or trades. I know there's single issues for sure. And here in this show, it does that. It shows the comic. He flips through a page, and it zooms in on the panel. Then the panel becomes actual actors. They're starting the scene right there.
I think you're confusing like the EC comics with Creepshow.
No, this one,
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, the ones you're talking about were the Eerie comics, right?
No, they were EC comics.
They were called.
That was the HBO show Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
that comes from the old EC comics. They're famous old horror comics from the 50s.
Okay, yeah.
Creepshow, the movie, was homaging those.
Yeah, Creepshow was a movie in the 80s.
Right, that was a movie that was on because Stephen King was a fan of the old EC Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and stuff like that comics.
Okay,
so homaged it. So
okay, but here on the show, they're actually holding comics called Creepshow.
Right, they're still homaging the there was only one comic ever called Creepshow. Maybe they put out a couple more, but they're actually homaging the ones from the 50s.
Because in the beginning of every episode, they're holding the comic.
Right.
The guy puts it down and flips the panels, and then the show starts right there. Yeah, and then it does that like halfway through the show. It'll do it again. I watched 2 episodes yesterday, and it's pretty good. I was like, I go. If you like Tales from the Crypt, you're gonna love the show because it's kind of the same thing.
I'll have to check it out. What is it on?
I think I'll message it to you. I think it's on Stars. I want to say it's on AMC or Stars.
I'll Google it.
I just barely found out about it last night. I was like, holy crap! Because yesterday They
There's so
emailed
much
me a
TV
coupon. Yeah, yesterday they emailed me a coupon saying, "Do you want to have Stars, HBO, all this stuff for $10?" Everything. And I was like, okay, so I accepted it, and I threw it on to watch it. And then I was like, oh, they have this new show, Creep Show. And when I watched it, I was like, oh shit! I go, this shit is good.
You know what I'm watching right now? A horror show that's good.
Mm.
Castle Rock season 2. Once
Castle
again,
Rock
it's on Hulu, I think.
on Hulu. Okay, I might get when this thing ends. I
It's a
might
Stephen King
get
based
Hulu.
show also. Yeah, it's also a Stephen King based show. I watched season 1 when it came out a couple years ago. I barely even remember it. So it's like I didn't even bother watching season 2 until like last week, and it's really good. Don't even bother with season 1 because it has nothing to do with season 2. Just jump right into season 2. Watch that.
Okay, Castle Rock on Hulu. I'm gonna check it out. I know Hulu also has this other horror show that's like comedic. I haven't seen it yet though, but I've seen it advertised a lot on the sides of the buses. Where it's I think it's just called Horror Night, or I don't remember the exact name, but it has like the Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, like a bunch of guys, but it's a comedic take on the classic Universal monsters, and it's a TV show. I hear it's really good. I haven't watched it though, but I see it getting heavily advertised on the buses. Every time I'm waiting for the buses, I see that picture. I see that picture on the side. So I'm like, oh, when I'm going to a store and I see a bus pass by, I always see that right there. So it always reminds me, like, when I get Hulu, I go, I'm gonna have to check that show out. Right where I live, it's like a little. Right when I go downstairs on this building, and you come out, it's like a little. This street is like a little strip of a lot of stores. So a lot of different buses pass through here. So I'm always pass by with the billboards.
Okay. So our final verdict on Ice Cream Man is give it a read.
Yeah, give it a read for sure. It's good. Especially if you like one shots, you don't want one dragged out story where you gotta read like 10 issues, or if you like stuff like Tales from the Crypt, you like horror, you're gonna enjoy this. Twilight Zone, you're a fan of that kind of stuff. Definitely.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you like those type of shows, then it's a must read.
Yeah, I'd seen people on YouTube like this series. That's why I wanted to give it a read on Hulu. Because I actually read the first issue when it came out. I've read someone else's copy on my own, and it was one of those where the first issue actually got hot, so you couldn't get it, and I was kind of like, I missed out on it, so I didn't get. I should have just jumped on it with issue 2 or whatever. But sometimes I do that. I don't always do that, but sometimes like the book's hot and I want to check it out. I'll just pick up issue 2 or 3, or I'll pick up a second printing of issue 1 when it comes out, or something like that. I don't worry about not missing out on the first issue. But for this time, I did. I was like, maybe.
Also, when you're buying so many books and you kind of want to start cutting down, you start looking for little excuses to get rid of a few. There's
also ebbs and flows. Like sometimes it's like you start picking up 3 or 4 new books, and it's like I don't have room for this 5th one, and then it goes again, series end, and you're looking for new stuff, and it's like, oh, let's see what we got. So if it doesn't come in the right ebb or flow, I might not pick it up.
Yeah, it all depends on the weather. Cause sometimes I would be collecting some omnibus or something.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, 6 came out this week. I can't buy all 6. So you look for not to buy. You gotta cut one out. So whichever one gives me an excuse first is off the list. yeah, that happens for sure. Like right now, I'm doing that whole transitioning where I'm selling a lot of my trades, and then I'm buying the digital copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like with the omnibuses, they don't have digital copies of the omnibuses. So I'm keeping the omnibuses, but the trades, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep the hardcover, sell the trades, and buy the digital copies.
They have digital copies of the Epic editions, though.
Yeah, that's the ones I'm buying. The Epic editions, I'm buying those.
Good buy.
So some Epic editions, for example, say an omnibus carries 2 Epic editions. If they have that content in 2 Epic editions, then I will buy it digitally and sell the omnibus. But on some of the omnibuses, they have like 1 Epic, so you only have half the content digitally, or some they don't have any yet. So you're like, then those I'm like, well, those I keep until the Epics come out and I could buy them digitally, because I don't buy digital single issues. I don't want to do that, because when you buy the Epics, it includes all the tie-ins and all the crossovers, and the singles don't. So then I'm like, oh, now I gotta go buy this other book. Like if I have Iron Man issue 2, then I gotta buy Captain America issue 10. And then on Comixology, they don't put them under the same thing. They're gonna put Captain America under Captain America, Iron Man under Iron Man. So then they're all over the place when you're reading them.
I usually don't buy digital, except sometime I do on Amazon when it's really cheap. Like occasionally those Epic editions go on sale for like $3.
Yeah, that's why that's when I struck. When
I'm
I
like,
for like $5.
I'll spend $3 for 20 issues of John Romita Spider-Man, no problem.
Oh, yeah, it's a killer deal. When I saw that, I saw a deal like that, how you just said, and they were like, I think they were $4.99 each.
Yeah.
And a lot of Marvel stuff there. So that day, I bought about 20 of them. So I said, okay, all this material that I already have physical, I'm buying the digital copies, and I'm selling all those books.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when I just said, you know what? I go every time I see a deal on another book that I already have, but I see a deal digitally, I'm gonna buy the digital copy and sell the physical one. And I made a good amount of money because a lot of that stuff I had is up in price right now. So I was like, hey,
yeah. When those omnibuses go out of print, the price shoots up on them.
Oh yeah. And I go, this way I don't have to. This way I could get some money because I had some bills I had to take care of, and also I don't have to spend money buying the ones that are out of print anymore. Because now I'm like, I just buy the digital stuff when it's there.
Yeah, I mostly I still go to the comic shop every week and pick up single issues.
Yeah,
that's what
I might have done it if I had a comic shop close by. I would have bought a trade or two every week. Right. I don't have one close by. I have some around the area, but they're far. They're like 40 minutes, an hour away, like a 40-minute drive. So I'm like, I just order most of my stuff online.
Yeah, mine's about a 20-minute
drive. I also bought a tablet. I also bought a tablet on January. So I've been using it. Yeah, I'm like, hey, this one I don't even have to have the lights on. I just flip through the pages and so forth. It's like I said, it's some books like Spawn or Jim Lee's X-Men, I struggle with reading it digitally. I'm like, oh, like the way the panels are and stuff, it's a mess. It's like it has to be on a physical book.
Also, the main problem with digital, especially for something like Jim Lee in that era, is double page spreads have the opposite effect of what they're intended to when you're reading on digital. Because when you're reading it physically and you hit that double page spread, it's like, whoa. When you hit it on digital, they actually make it smaller so they can fit it in 2 pages in one. And it's just like, instead of going, whoa, you go, oh.
Yeah, it looks like just another little panel. Like, yeah, that's why the 90s stuff is rough. If you want to collect digital, like how I'm trying to do, that's the stuff I'm probably going to end up holding on to just because I don't like the way it looks digitally. So I'm going to hold on to the physical copy.
A lot of that stuff was built around double page spreads and big shots.
Yeah, like the newer stuff is a lot of it is catered towards the computer screen. So they make a lot of panels the size of the screen and the newer stuff. Like I noticed with Tom King, what's that artist that worked with him on Sheriff of Babylon?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, have you read that book before though?
I've not read Sheriff of Babylon. I know Mitch.
I really enjoy reading that.
Yeah.
Digital. I like the way the panels move. I go, this art and the way this story is told is meant to be on a TV screen. It's meant to be like a movie. You know, I really like the way it looked on I bought the hardcovers, then I read it on I think on Hoopla, and I was like, you know what? I really like the way it looks digitally. I ended up just selling that hardcover, but that's a really good story. That Sheriff of Babylon, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's because you like to go panel to panel. I like to have the whole page. So
yeah, because on that book, he'll have like 12 panels on one page, like a lot of little panels. And when you read it digitally, you go panel to panel, it almost looks like the guy's moving like that while they're talking. You know, the heads are moving like that because it's a lot of panels where it's just the faces speaking. So so it feels like a conversation going, and the guys are just, you know, their heads moving back and forth while they're speaking to each other. So I like that effect they had.
I'll have to look for it on Hoopla.
Yeah, check it out. I have the Mr. Miracle, and I might buy Omega Man, or I might read it digitally since it's on Hoopla, Omega Man, because I was enjoying what I read from Tom King. It's kind of word heavy, it's dialogue heavy.
I took Mr. Miracle out of the library this winter and read it.
Have you read it yet? I have my card cover, but I haven't read it yet.
Uh,
We should get to it one of these days after I check it out.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, because I know
I
they
read
said
it like 3 months ago. I don't even remember. I remember it being okay.
yeah, 'cause I know they said he took a realistic take with the character. But one thing I noticed with Tom King is all his stories are like kind of the same thing over and over about depression and not wanting to live. And I'm like, man, I go, all his stories kind of have the same tone and the characters have the same feel.
Yeah, actually, I do remember one thing about it now that turned me off to it. He was killing a lot of the characters in the story, so you knew it wasn't real.
Okay, okay, yeah, he was having some type of imaginary world or something like that.
Yeah, something like whatever it was, you knew it wasn't real, because if it was real, the consequences across the DC universe would be like tremendous.
Okay,
So,
yeah, because it's supposed to be its own like miniseries,
right.
like a Elseworld type of
So
thing.
I always feel cheated when like I said, I'm an indie guy. I mostly read indie comics, and one of the reasons I like indie comics is because the stories often have consequences. Like in Ice Cream Man, when someone dies, they're dead. You know, some character dies in it, they're dead.
DC, yeah, that's what the good thing is about DC. They have so much Elseworld stories where you kind of don't know what's gonna happen because they can do whatever.
But you see, I don't really. I'd rather read an indie comic than a comic about Batman where they can kill everyone, but it's of no consequence.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I like the Elseworld stories though because you could put, for example, Batman, but you could put him in another world where he's like a villain. He turned out bad, and it doesn't affect the ongoing because it's its own separate thing.
A lot of people like I only read some of the earliest Elseworld stories back in, I don't know, the early 90s, and I gave up on the whole concept because the ones I read, it was like I read a few Batman ones, and everything, Commissioner Gordon was there, Batman was there, the Joker was there, it was like everything was exactly the same except the clothes. Everybody was wearing old-timey clothes.
Yeah, that's not good. I like when they go in the Elseworld stories to take chances, like maybe make Commissioner Gordon the Joker's sidekick or something like that. Like change things around. Don't give everybody the same role. Like give them different roles, even if it's the same characters, but give them different roles where maybe Joker is Commissioner Gordon.
I actually appeared in an Elsewhere story once.
And DC,
Batman Houdini.
Okay, I haven't read that, but
this is when I was working in the Marvel bullpen, and Mark Chiarello, who went on to be DC's longtime art director, but he also worked at Marvel at the times before he took the staff job. So he was hanging around the office one day in Marvel, and he was the artist drawing Batman Houdini, and he would sometimes take photo reference for the characters. It was a painted book, so he'd take photo reference and paint the characters. He was like, "Oh, you want to pose for me for I have this character, So it was just like some guy who Batman beat up in Batman. So it's like me. He actually took a few photos of me, and I was threatening some woman, and Batman beat me up. So I'm in Batman Houdini.
I'm gonna check that book out. That's cool. I like when like artists and writers used to do that back in. I don't know. I'm assuming they did in the 80s too, but I know I saw it in the 90s, where when you had a beef with an artist or the artist had a beef with a writer, they will. It's not like now they just go to Twitter and whine about it. They were creative with it. They put it in the story with subtle little metaphors, and you're like, oh, he's taking a jab at so and so, and you kind of saw it in the story. Yeah. I used to like that a lot more than like what they do now, where they just write it on Twitter or they make everything really obvious, like straightforward. And the other way is like if you're a fan, you catch on to it. If you're not, you don't. And now they spell things out for you.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it was good. We're hitting an hour already. Try to keep that to about an hour. Hopefully in another 2 weeks or so, see if we review another book. And
Yeah,
we'll
well,
try to do them every day around this time, around 3 or 4. Not every day, but when we do them, it'll be around 4. So where can they reach you at, Jared?
You can find me on YouTube under Jared Osborne. Just put my name in YouTube or Art by Osborne on Instagram. You can find me there.
Okay, cool. If you guys watch this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more of the same, hit that subscribe button. That way you stay tuned for future content.
Have a good one out there.